Hi, this is Ellie Fishman, and welcome to our Facebook Live. I can see everything is booting up correctly. And hi to everybody. Today's December something or other. It's getting near the end of the year. It's the 16th of December. I guess we have probably two more Thursdays of Facebook Live, and we do want to thank everybody for being here. Um, just to give you just a couple updates, we are working hard on updating some of the apps, as well as a new app on lumbar spine, which it's just spectacularly done in the works for the last year. Really novel interface, great material. That's essentially approved by the Apple Store. We were just making some last second edits, and that will be online momentarily. So that'll be online probably around the first of the year. And you can see that's that secret thing that Lily sends out. Guess what's coming? We're updating some of the other apps, but that also is there. We're continuing to update the website. Obviously, lots of new content, lots of new lectures. I know I've been working on lectures. I'm kind of, for the second, I'm at least caught up till April. A lot of new lectures. If you look back at the last 6 to 9 months, I didn't do any of those things where, let's say, okay, pancreas CT, I update something from 2 years before. We'll do all of that at some point. But what I did in the short term is that I was able to create all new lectures. So really, the last 30 some odd lectures are all new. At least the next 20 will be all new, and then I'll get back a little bit into updating some of the classic lectures. So there's a lot of good material. A lot of the lectures are more targeted lectures, a little bit instead of the adrenal. You can see there was something on pheo, there's something on large adrenal masses, there's something on adrenal masses that bleed. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different things. So we are just continually trying to upgrade. So that becomes something that's really cool. So we're going to look at that. We're also looking at things like Lily is sending me an email right now. We're looking at also using YouTube to do live things on YouTube. Many of you obviously use Facebook and YouTube. We just got our YouTube numbers. It was like 1. I'll forget the numbers now. 1.1 million visitors, 583,000 hours. I mean, it's some incredible number, or I got the two numbers backwards, but just an incredible number of people showing up. Oh, here it is. I'm looking at my desktop. It said, this is from YouTube. You have 2021 snapshots, so that's of 3 weeks before the end of the year. 1.6 million minutes watched, 563,000 total views. So that's pretty impressive. And the most common countries were United States, not a surprise, then India and England. We have a great following in India, and if you look at Facebook, if you look at the website itself, number 2 of sites after the US is India, which is maybe not surprising. India has a big population. India has a lot of physicians, and people in India are very good about being online. So they're really good about that. So now I'm looking at also some comments. Let me see. I saw John was here a second ago. There's John. And the question, am I coming to India? We'll get to that after. And then, what else did I see here? That was about all I saw. Okay, there's a few other things which, from us, just some of the information. But I actually picked the title of this talk was about meetings for next year. So, I unfortunately, probably what I was going to say 2 days ago maybe it's a little different than what I was going to say now. So I'll just tell you what I was going to say 2 days ago. I was saying that I was in a meeting, a National Diagnostic meeting in Orlando, which I've spoken at for probably the past 20 years. It was the second place I've been. I went to UCSD about a month and a half ago. So this meeting is in Orlando. They had a good crowd, not as good as pre-COVID, but a very good crowd of people, radiologists from all over the place who were very interested. It was kind of a weird experience. So what Disney does, it was at Disney, the Yacht Club, what Disney requires is kind of a little bit goofy. So, well, one thing they do is they require, and everybody followed, that you were indoors, you needed to wear a mask. So, at the conference room, anybody walking inside the hotel needed a mask. You did not need a mask when you were outside. Okay, that makes some sense. People are spread around outside. Now, in the restaurants, which were jam packed, you didn't need to wear a mask, which means you were around a lot of people who weren't wearing masks, and so potentially you had the issue of exposure. What also is interesting, and this is, I don't think so much from COVID, I mean, it's COVID related, but it's also probably Disney being Disney, which means let's make as much money as possible. Um, when I stayed in San Diego 6 weeks ago or so, you had the option of someone coming in and cleaning up your room or giving you new towels or whatever you wanted. So some people, feel uncomfortable about someone coming in their room. It was maybe the first time they had been traveling. And so the hotel was very good. It was the Del Coronado. They weren't pushy. If you don't want anybody coming to your room, no one's going to come to your room. If you want to get someone dropping off towels, they can do that. If you want someone to clean like it was 2019, they could do that as well. So that was, I thought, pretty good. So you did what you wanted. And I was there just a couple days, and I didn't know to call, so whatever, it was great. But Disney was different. So the first day came back to my room, and the room bed wasn't made, so it was kind of unusual. It was like 5 o'clock. So I called downstairs, and they told me, "Oh, you didn't read the piece of paper in your room." Well, the piece of paper in the room, and as the person explained to me, because the piece of paper probably wasn't clear if I would have read it, at Disney, no matter how long you stay, there is no housekeeping. They do not make up your bed. It's like being at home. You got to make your own bed, or you got to do nothing. What they do is every other day, if you agree, they will come in and wipe down the surfaces. But if anything of yours is on a surface, they won't wipe it down. And they will take out your garbage if you put it by the door, and they'll take your towels and give you new towels. So basically, what it means is minimal housekeeping. It's like a Motel 6 or whatever those things are. You get clean towels, but that's it, bubula. There's no extra shampoo. There's no new soap. Nothing. You got a soap bar. You're going to use that bar for as long as you're at the hotel. So now, of course, they did not correlate that with the rates. They didn't say, "Oh, we're going to give you a discount," though the rates are as high as ever. On the flip side, of course, when I went down to our meeting, when they had the pastries or the fruit or the juice or the coffee, it was 2019. To my surprise, things weren't individually wrapped. Things were just piled on a tray like they always were. So if you were worrying about having your own thing when no one touched it, no one came near it, no one looked at it, breathed on it, or anything else, you would be wrong, because basically it was just a platter. Now, most of the places I've been, everything is individually wrapped. So here it's not individually wrapped. You have to wear a mask in the meeting, but if you ate, you didn't have to wear a mask. Okay, that part is fine. That's how it was in the airport. That's how it was in the airline. You're supposed to be eating quickly without a mask. It's hard to eat with a mask on, right? But it was just this dichotomy. Okay, so it was a little bit goofy, and it's typical Disney in some sense. Disney is, let me just get something here. Disney is very, very profitable. Bob Iger stepped down to someone new at Disney who's more of a bottom line person. And I think Disney forgets that people pay for the experience, not to see how much money you can make in the short term. Now, perhaps Disney, like many people, are having problems hiring people. If you don't have to clean all the rooms, you just have to stick a few towels in every other day, you're going to have like one person for the whole building. But we'll see. Now, what I was going to say is it was great to be at the meeting. It was really nice seeing people. I saw some friends. I saw John Pellegrino. I saw Rich Gore, Perry Pickard, a bunch of other people. It was nice speaking to people and asking questions. It was a little weird through a mask, but okay, it was better than nothing. So I was thinking that a year from now the meeting occurs again, and perhaps then there'll be no masks or anything else. And that meeting ended a week ago. But now you see, with this newest variant of COVID, I think everybody is kind of taking a step back. The J.P. Morgan meeting that occurs in January, big farm meeting, was just put totally remote as of this morning. They wanted to run it, but the drug companies said, "We ain't coming." CES is still going to be in person. I don't know. I'm concerned about, and everyone's concerned about the numbers of what happens after Christmas. People are traveling, people are going away, people are visiting. What's going to happen when you visit your relatives? You're going to see a lot of new people. How's that going to go? What's going to happen with that? Are people going to get infected? I know in Maryland there's a number of schools that are closed because too many people have had exposure. Um, so I'm really concerned, and I think what everybody's concerned about is like, when is this going to end? If you're worrying about getting variant after variant, if you're going to worry, does the vaccine work? Doesn't work? This is going to be a long life, And I think people, coming on 2 years. People, life needs to move on. So I think it's really going to be a challenge. Uh, the number of vaccinated people is about 70%, but there's 30% of the people who just don't want to get vaccinated. So that herd immunity, whatever else you want to call it, doesn't seem to be happening. If you got your third dose, which you ought to get, you're protected against the new variant, but what about the next variant? Well, you need a fourth dose. It just makes it seem like it goes on and on. And that's why I was going to tell you I'm looking forward to meetings next year. I'm supposed to go to a Penn meeting in June. But everything is kind of now in flux. Are we going to keep doing everything online? Are we going to have meetings? Internally, we don't have meetings. We do everything on Zoom, multidisciplinary conference, our staff conferences, our quiz conferences, whatever we're doing online. So, and I don't see that changing, unfortunately. And probably I don't really see that changing. The earliest you can hope for would be late 2022, but now you're looking at 2023. So I think that's a little bit sad. We were looking, I ran meetings for 37 years. We're not running a meeting this year. Will we ever run a meeting again? I don't know. Because are you willing to take the risk of running a meeting and potentially losing money? I mean, I'm not looking to make money, but I can't afford to lose money on a meeting. So it's a little bit challenging for us, and challenging for everybody. I think that's a big problem. I think people are also getting sad. There's a lot of, you read about in the paper, a lot of mental health issues. I think we need to be very strong, but I think for a lot of people it's very stressful. I think it's very stressful for people with kids as they watch their kids grow up and not being able to do the stuff they want to do with them. But it's also very stressful for older people, people who are single, people who are married, people who can't see their grandchildren. People are traveling because they need to, because I think, you're willing to give a year or 2 years, but you're not willing to give the rest of your life in what seems to be a bottomless pit. I think that's very challenging. And that's where you worry about spread and everything else. But I'm not sure what you can tell people. How long can you tell people don't travel or don't visit your relatives or don't do this and don't do that? So I think what I'll tell you is, I was looking for this before and I was reaching, wear your mask, get a lot of masks and wear them. I think that's the safest thing you can do. Get a third dose. Get your kids vaccinated. Make sure all your friends are vaccinated. Make sure everyone has that third dose. The third dose is critical. The 2 doses alone do not do well against the new variant. The third dose does well. We're grateful that Pfizer has a new drug that's in front of the FDA that if you get COVID, you can take it for 5 days and you'll be fine. But we'd like not to get COVID, right? I mean, the obvious is the obvious. So I'm telling you that be careful. If you need to travel, but be careful. See who you need to see. I would not be going to, and I didn't go to the Eagles, and I didn't go to Clapton, and I'm not buying tickets for Kelly Musgraves in February, and I'm not buying any tickets. I'd like to go to concerts, which is not a priority. I'd like to go to Sesame Street Live. Maybe we'll get there. But, excuse me. Sorry for that, John. But anyway, I do want to make sure that everybody is very careful. And for those of you, we'll be back next week. I'm working on a topic for next week. But, for those of you, if we don't see you until next year, we wish everybody a happy and healthy new year. And hopefully this discussion about COVID will disappear. Hopefully we'll be arguing over what's the best meeting to go to, what things that we need to do. Now, I'll tell you from CTisus, we are, as I mentioned, continually upgrading, expanding. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, ideas, thoughts, topics, we're happy to hear them. I think one of the challenges I always face is I'm the one making up the topics and the titles. I don't want to make sure I'm missing anything. So we need your input to tell us what we're doing, and hopefully we can do things right. So with that, I want to wish everyone a great day. And again, if I'm not going to see you till next year, have a great end of the year. And I see John says we missed contacts with the radiologists and body CT. I mean, we missed the contact with you guys as well. I mean, we're all there, but it's just like, you're not sitting around just chewing the fat like you used to do. That's the challenge. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. And to everyone, whether it's our friends in Baltimore or anywhere in the U.S. or in Mumbai or in Nepal, wherever you may be, we wish everybody a great day. See you later.